and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Awthentik and the Beard, brought to you by All or Nothing Studios. I am not Scotty Boomz. Scotty Boomz, congratulations to Scotty Boomz. Scotty Boomz got a new gig, so he will be doing his orientation this week and will not be with us physically, but he is here with us in spirit. So thank you guys for joining us. It has been a wild end of the regular season. I'm sure most of you are going through some sort of emotional withdrawal from football and are still trying to wrap your heads around what actually just happened in week 17. Awthentik and I actually stuck around after the Washington and Philadelphia game for what felt like 6 hours with a whole bunch of people. I mean, there was like 130 of you guys in the chat holding it down. We brought people on as guests. It was crazy.
Yeah,
so
it was dope. It was kind of like a little therapy session at the same time, man. Especially for Giants fans, man, with the tanking job, man. That was tough. But I definitely enjoyed that, man. Shout out to the homie AJ. Bark Nasty popped up on there. Joseph popped up on there, man. It was lit, man. And I think it might have been 6 hours, bro. I don't know. That was a wild stream.
The entire stream itself was 6 hours. I mean, if you think about it, we streamed for over 7 hours that day because in the morning we did the parlay.
Yeah, that was dope, man. I was definitely exhausted on Monday morning, man. I know you had a lot going on, man. People was asking me, man, they're like, where's Awthentik, man? I don't see him on Twitter. I don't see him nowhere. Fisk was asking me pop up in his stream and whatnot, man. I was knocked out like for half the day, man. I woke up, had a cup of coffee. I was probably up for like just a couple hours, man, and then right back to the sheets, man. I had to get some rest, but I'm well rested now, man, back in the mix. Congratulations, man, on the Washington football team making the playoffs. I know that's a booster for you 100%.
It feels good. I mean, I predicted us to win the division in the beginning of the season.
That you did.
Which you did. I did not do just because I was a Washington fan, and I didn't think we were going to be, 7-9. I thought we were going to be this year's San Francisco 49ers, but apparently we're like the 2000 and whatever it was, Carolina Panthers. So
yeah, kind of like the 2010 Seahawks kind of vibes, just sneaking in. Did y'all get 7 wins? Yeah, y'all got 7 wins.
Yeah, 7-9. So
that's a little bit more. You got a little reputation on the line there. 7 look a lot better than 6 because 6 would have broke the record.
Yeah, I had us finishing the season at 9-7. So 7-9. Not too far off, but.
Yeah, not too far off considering what went down this year in Washington, man. I mean, it was pretty crazy, man. All the stuff with Dwayne Haskins. You got the situation with the injuries. Terry McLaurin, right when y'all needed him at the peak of the season, when y'all really needed to get some wins, had the injury. Antonio Gibson, man. So, I mean, yeah, to come out of this, division winners, 7-9, can't ask for more, man. I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's look, to think about everything that happened from beginning, like, the end of last season until now. So literally a 1-year period.
Yeah.
The amount of things that happen with this franchise is absolutely insane. The name change, right? You first of all, you fire Jay Gruden about 5 years too late. You get rid of Bruce Allen, and then the Darius Geis thing happens. The other guy who never even play it down with.
Oh yeah, Cody Latimer.
Cody Latimer.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens. Then the name change. Then the minority owners. Then the sexual assault cases, the scandals, and then Dwayne Haskins, and then Alex Smith and Kyle Allen, and I mean. It's crazy. So
it's been wild, bro.
To finish out on top, it's unfortunate, and obviously we've touched on it after the game, and we'll touch on it for sure today. But it didn't feel as good.
This was kind of like a war where only one guy survived from each army. Literally everybody got killed along the way. And one man survived, and that is the Washington football team, man. So once again, man, congrats to y'all, bro. That's lit.
It's wild.
When's the last time y'all won the division? RG3, right?
2012.
2012, man. So 8 years. That's a milestone in itself, right there.
Think about this too. There is three of the 4 teams in the NFC East had at least 3 quarterbacks play this year.
Yeah, and the Giants had 2. So, yeah, that's wild. That's a lot of quarterbers.
It's insane.
3 new coaches, man. Yeah, it's been tough. COVID, we didn't even mention that.
Yeah, I mean, and Ron Rivera had cancer.
Yeah, It's been crazy, man.
I mean, it has been a wild ride, but the ride continues for the Washington football team, which is kind of amazing, and I'm super stoked about it. But like I said, it wasn't as awesome as it would have been if the way that they won that last game wasn't the way that they won. But
yeah, that was interesting.
We're going to get to that. Before we move on, I'm going to say some hellos to some people in the chat. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up while you're here. It helps this stream get out to the YouTube universe. Shout out to everybody watching us on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, across all the platforms. We appreciate the love and the support. So before I start jumping into saying the hellos, I'm going to get this before it goes. Bars. What's up to my man Lax044?
Hey, the jersey winner one time in the building.
Yes, sir.
You better stop sending these super chats, man. I ain't trying to give away this jersey for free, cuz.
The $4.99 super chat. What's up, fellas? I was pleasantly surprised by how the Giants season played out. Good luck to Washington in the playoffs. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. I think a lot of people who are, hardcore Giants fans, I think everybody kind of feels the same way too. Like, it's unfortunate, the way that the season ends when you don't make the playoffs, and that's with every team. But
yeah,
there's a lot of positive things that you can take away from this season if you're a Giants fan, and I do truly believe that.
Yeah, definitely. We know we got our guys, man. That's one thing I'm very hype about, man, is knowing we got our coaches. And I see the chat was talking about Patrick Graham getting the extension. I tweeted out earlier this morning. I hope y'all saw that. I said Pat Graham ain't going nowhere.
Yep. So that's big news right there. And big shout outs to Nate Talks Giants. Hype.
Hey, my man Nate, what's up, fam? I still got to get with you, man. I told you yesterday was crazy, man. Had to catch them Z's straight up, man. Get back on track here.
And big shout out to the man Waterfly, telling everybody hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that, fam.
Sure.
Waterfly, OG, day one in the building. What's up, fam?
And I'ma hay him up on your block. Hyped.
I'm a hey up. We got to know some enunciation on that one. That's what's up, though. I'm digging that, man. G-Man in the building one time. Giants Nation, you already know what it is.
Says he is hyped. Yes, sir. Papa Homewood is in the building. What's going on, sir? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Roman, what's going on, Roman? Thank you for popping in the building. We appreciate it.
Loving the profile pic. That's the jail pic if they ever catch Daniel Jones up by the police.
The mugshot?
Yeah, that's going to be the mugshot 100.
Whitwood is in the building. What's going on, Whitwood?
Hey, what's up, Whit? Turn up.
Waterfly says, congrats and good luck to the Washington football team. Better you representing the NFC East than Jerry's Cowboys or tanking Eagles.
Big facts.
And, yep, Sunday, it's not going to be the same. As Nick DeWick says, Sunday is going to suck.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Nick. Shout out my man Nick DeWick one time.
Joseph Balby's in the building. What's going on, Joseph? How you doing, brother?
In the building. What's up, fam? What's up, Giants Nation in the building one time?
Joel's here as well.
Hey.
And Joel says, hey, guys, what a year for Giants fans. Beat Dallas, Eagles, and Washington 4-2 in the division and have playoff hopes end of the year. Things are definitely looking up.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Definitely. Beard gang in the building, too, man. Loving that jersey.
That's the way you got to look at things. You got to look at things, on the positive side, especially when the season ends like it does.
Yeah.
Shout out to AJ4. What's going on, AJ?
Hey, AJ popped up in the chat when we were doing the after hours with Awthentik and the Beard after the game, man. Had a lot of good stuff to say, man. Hey, I'm on that train now, bro. Waddle, that's who I'm looking at right now. When I saw the tape, I think that's who the Giants should go after, man. Seems like a major playmaker. I'm going to do a little bit more research, a little bit more studying on that. And, we're going to keep that moving. I see the Beard just lost his camera one time. So I'll continue the shout-outs in the chat one time for you till you get back, right? Who else we got in the building one time? Let me scroll back a little bit. Oh, we got a couple super chats, too. Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see the Lax joint right there. Andrew Weems in the building one time. I see you, fam. What's up? How you living one time? Who else in the building one time? Hey, Vance, what's up, fam? How you living, man? Shout out to you too, bro. Appreciate you checking us out one time. I see JD in the building one time. What's up, fam? How you living? Giants Nation in the building. Who else we got in the building? Yeah, we know Patrick Graham got the extension. What's up, Nicholas? How you living? That's a beautiful thing. How y'all feeling about that Patrick Graham extension, man? I was saying on my Twitter, man, that he's definitely not going nowhere because, first year I just felt like Pat Graham got a lot more to do with this team. Him and Joe Judge kind of on a mission. I'm loving the extension there, man. He's been doing some great things with this defense. Couple more pieces I think will really be, top notch. Middle tier so far. Now, I like what we've been doing so far on the defensive side of the ball for sure. Daniel White in the building one time. Giants Nation in the building. Let's get it. You already know what it is. Let's see. Oh, my man Sleepwalker in the building. Hey, what's up, Sleep? How you living, man? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I'm waiting for this COVID situation to kind of just go away, man. I got so many peeps and so much fam I need to see, man. I've been stuck in the crib, dog, just cooking up beats, trying to finish this album. And by the way, man, the album, I'm going to do a listening for it on January 11th, and we'll get that all situated. And I'll have some promo out for that as well. Who else in the building one time here? Let's see here. Oh, Bark Nasty definitely in the building one time. What's up, man? Bark Nasty joined us on the After Hours with Awthentik and the Beard as well. And chopped it up, man. Bark Nasty's a big Daniel Jones supporter, man. I'm the same way. I've been on the Daniel Jones train for a minute here. I think Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback. We ain't got nothing to worry about here. Once we get Saquon Barkley back, y'all seeing the numbers without Saquon and with Saquon. It's a major difference in the way that Daniel Jones has played with and without Saquon Barkley. But shout out to you, Bart Nasty. Appreciate you chiming in, what was that, Sunday night on the After Hours situation with Awthentik and the Beard. Who else we got here? Ash Money get the super chat one time. Appreciate you, man. Giants coming with a vengeance next year. You know it. Especially after the way that the Eagles tanked, man. To me, that's such a disgrace, man. And a lot of people was talking about, the Giants are just mad. And that really wasn't even what it was. You could look at the stream that we did from front to back. My emotions never changed during that stream. I was pretty just stern the whole stream. And, I just think it's an integrity thing there. When you tank a game like that, but I got a new theory, and once we get to that recap, I'm gonna give y'all this new theory I got. I'm gonna see how y'all feeling about that one time. We got the Beard all the way back lined up here one time.
Back in effect. Back in
the
effect
building,
for
man.
sure. So
we got Jay Jeans in the building one time too. Congrats to the Washington football team. Not the ending I wanted, but the Washington football team making it is literally 100 times better than the Cowboys making it, and 1,000 times better than the Birds making it. Giants Nation in the building one time. I'm in 1,000% agreement with you, Jay Jean, on that one time. A couple more here, and we can get to this first game. Rush scored 4. Giants Washington are the shaggers. I like that. Shaggers. Eagles and Cowboys are the little guys. Shaggers, like Austin Powers shagging, or I'm not too familiar with the term. I see Sabrina in the building one time. Gettleman staying and Graham staying. That's 2 people I said was going to stay. Go back, check the receipts. I said that on Twitter too. I knew Gettleman wasn't going nowhere. Giants are on a mission here, and finally I think we got the soldiers lined up. It's just a couple. Well, actually, I'll say we got the generals and the lieutenants lined up. And now we just got to finish out the soldiers, and we're going to be back on track. But shout out to you, Sabrina. Any more here in the chat, Tim, we need to get to before we get it cracking?
Did you get to the King of OC's
I missed that
chat?
one. I missed that one. Hey.
Shout out to McGinnis, the King of OC. Thanks for having me on the post game Sunday night. Great to catch up, y'all. It was awesome, and big shout out to McGinnis for showing us some love on Instagram today. We appreciate that, sir. It was a pleasure to have you on. We appreciate the support for sure, man. It means a lot to us.
And AJ was not AJ, but McGinnis was asking about AJ's Twitter. And AJ lost a bet where his Twitter name is a little funky right now. Got, some Washington players in there because of the bet he lost. So I was like, I don't even know if I can share that right now.
There.
But AJ, if you want to drop your Twitter for McGinnis for King of the OC, y'all can link up, man. And that was awesome chopping it up with y'all, man. I almost didn't want the night to end, but we had to get some rest. I know the Beard had a pretty busy day the next day.
Yeah. It's been a wild 4 to 6 days. I don't even know what day of the week it is half of the time these times, but
BO.
It's been fun. Let's say that. It's been a lot of fun. And I mean, it just the way that whole game ended, we're going to talk about it, but it made me feel like I was in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, you were saying that in the beginning. I was kind of like, I'm not quite in the Twilight Zone yet, but then the more and more we stayed up and talked about it, I was like, yo, it feels like a dream, bro. It did not feel real.
What's going on, Chop Liver?
Hey, what's up, Chop Liver? We know we ain't going to leave you out the mix. Like you chopped liver. You like that pun. Can't do that.
Oh, man.
Oh, Logic's in the building. A couple others in the building. Ethan Hart in the building. I see y'all, man. I see all of y'all, man. Y'all ready to get this show started or what, man?
Man, let's do it.
All right. So we're missing Scotty Boomz tonight, man. So I'm going to take over these intros one time. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to put a little bit of flavor on it, too. Put a little spice into it. Give y'all a little bit of Giants, Awthentik twang and Timisms all day long. You already know what it is. So let's see where we want to go with the music. We'll go with this. This is a good one. All right, man. So we're going to start off with the Giants and the Cowboys first, man. Cowboys at Giants. On Sunday, the Giants beat the Cowboys for their 6th win of the season and finished the year at 6-10 in the NFC East. The Giants came out on the first drive offensively with a spark and dominated early. The first drive ended with a touchdown on a reverse to Sterling Shepard, who played his best football of the season, if you ask me. Shepard scored on both of the first 2 drives and finished the day with 8 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones had a pretty decent day himself. Jones finished 17-25 for 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. We got to put an asterisk by because that pass hit Evan Ingram dead between the hands, right on the numbers. Jones finishes the year with only 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 2,943 yards, and a 62.5 completion percentage in 14 games. I like the completion percentage. It's not bad. On the other side of the ball, the Giants defense came to play, man. Leonard Williams had a game. Finished the day with 7 tackles and 3 sacks. He finishes the season with 57 tackles and 11.5 sacks. Somebody gonna pay that man, I promise you that. In the secondary, Notre Dame alum Julian Love, man, he had a solid day at cornerback number 2. I know a lot of people are rethinking this draft now after that game that Julian Love had, but he did drop what could have been 2 interceptions early on. James Bradbury handled business as usual, locking down his side of the field. And Xavier McKinney. To me, this is the first game I saw Xavier McKinney really shine, man. He had a great game. Ended the game with the game-sealing interception late in the 4th quarter. Hours after the game, McKinney was in his bag, man. Made it a point to troll Skip Bayless, who earlier this season on April 24th tweeted, "Glad the Giants took the Bama safety I did not want the Cowboys to take." DC people would take that very offensive, calling you the Bama safety. After the game, Xavier McKinney responded to the tweet with, "Happy New Year, Skip," with the wink emoji. I was in love with that. I retweeted that like 3 times. Jason Garrett sort of got back to the Wayne train, and Wayne Gallman finished the day with 11 carries for 65 yards, 5.9 yards per carry. That's really good. But he had a critical fumble late in the game with the Giants trying to get one more first down to put the game on ice. Looked to be that the Cowboys had the ball when we first saw it, but Wayne definitely sat and laid an egg and recovered that fumble. The Giants kneeled the ball out and went on to win the game 23-19 to keep their playoff hopes alive for just another few hours. Despite the Giants knocking off one of their NFC East rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles spoiled their playoff hopes Sunday night after losing to the Washington football team 20-14 after benching Jalen Hurts in the second half for Nate Sudfeld. Andy Dalton was 29 of 47. That's a lot of throws, man, if you ask me. 243 yards on the day. The Beard. This is my main question for you, bro. What do you see as the main factor for why the Cowboys could not get their running game going and rely on Ezekiel Elliott?
I mean, first of all, the crazy thing is that Andy Dalton was the leading rusher for the Dallas Cowboys in this game at 48 yards.
That's ridiculous. What?
That's insane. And even before I get into how bad that running game was, big shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat. I might be late, but Graham is back.
Yes, sir. Giants Nation in the building.
Go. I know everybody is excited about that. It's a big move. And big shout outs to Andrew, who is a young Cowboys fan who came on the show after the game on Sunday with us too.
Oh yeah, we did. I forgot that was that Andrew. That's what's up, man.
So
salute
big
to
shout
Andrew
outs to Andrew for sure. Look, I think he says that Zeke quit on them, and that's definitely a possibility, obviously. But I hate to say that players quit on like that. Like I'll let the other players determine if another player quits on the team. Because typically if that happens, they'll come out and they'll say that, hey, I'm kind of upset about my guys. My guys are quitting on me and so forth. But Zeke didn't look himself. And to be honest, Zeke hasn't looked himself all year long.
I think that's got to do with his bro being injured, man.
It
man,
definitely probably has a lot to do with it. But Zeke, he wasn't healthy. Just you could tell from the way that he was running, he he had the calf injury going into the game, not even just the first half, but he had been nursing it for a couple of weeks now. It just he didn't seem right. What I think was the biggest mistake that Dallas made is that if Zeke wasn't healthy, right, and you could kind of see it, like if we could see it, I know that the coaching staff sees it on the sideline, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough, and Washington is going to be facing this decision this week. Sometimes it's tough to pull your guy. You know, when I say your guy, I mean like your first stringer or like your guy. It's hard to pull him when they want to play hurt, you know?
Yeah.
But they didn't give Pollard any burn, really. How many carries?
He got no burn. Five carries for 15 yards, and that's unlike them. Normally when – I don't know how many carries Zeke had. I didn't look into his stats, man, because he just seemed to be sitting on the sideline for most of the game. But that's rare. You know, usually when they don't got Zeke going, Pollard usually gets, you know, the boatload of the carries. And in this game, you know, like I said before, Andy Dalton, 47 throws. The 243 yards is not terrible, but if you look at the wide receiver numbers here, CeeDee Lamb only had 5 catches for 43 yards. Michael Gallup had 4 catches for 49 yards. Amari Cooper had 6 catches for 41 yards. You don't got a Dallas wide receiver over 50 yards, but somehow you managed to throw the ball 47 times in this game. And they were, they were only down at the half 20-9. You know, that 11 points is not enough for you to give up on the running game. And maybe it had something to do with the interior of this Giants defense too, man. I mean, we have been stopping the run pretty decent all year long. But in the past few weeks, I've seen a couple teams see some success running the ball against the Giants, you know. So it surprises me that a team like this that usually gets it clicking from the running game and then throws, you know, short, basic kind of passes, that's usually the formula for Dallas Cowboys to put up a lot of points on the board. And in this game, they didn't do it. And
what's also interesting is when who was it? Was it Leonard Williams stepped on Andy Dalton's hands? Mm-hmm. You that first play afterwards, right? I saw the handoff and I said to Awthentik, he just handed that ball off with his left hand. And Awthentik was like,
his right hand.
His right hand. And Awthentik was like, did he really? And
he kind of like
it was crazy. And then you saw the broadcast kind of picked up on it and they started talking about it. I'm surprised that they didn't start to run the ball more after that.
Yeah, it really surprised me, man, especially like in this kind of NFC East matchup. That's how the Cowboys have dominated us in the past. I mean, I know they got no Dak Prescott, but it usually relies on Ezekiel Elliott. And what surprised me about Zeke being on the sideline is that this is a game where they had something to play for. You know, at 1 o'clock, nobody knows that the Eagles are going to go out here and do the biggest tank job in NFL history.
Nope.
You know, so there's something here to play for. But Zeke's still on the sideline. He had his helmet on for a lot of that time, too. That's very surprising. It reminded me of LaDainian Tomlinson in the playoffs. You know, that one year when Phillip Rivers was out there playing off the torn ACL.
Yeah.
You know, just running around on one leg, making plays, trying his best. You had LaDainian Tomlinson on the sideline with a coat and his helmet on and a visor. I don't know what they're going to do with Zeke moving forward, man. I know before they do anything with Zeke, it's going to take them to take care of this Dak Prescott situation. You know, I think that's most important for them. I saw a stat today that said Dak Prescott was 14-3 versus the NFC East. Come on, that's an NFC East killer right there. And they're talking about maybe not paying this guy. I think the quarterback in the league whose stats Dak Prescott is comparable to. And speaking of stats, before I even get to that, let's not forget that it took Andy Dalton like just up until last week to pass Dak in passing yards. You know, so I was one of the people in the beginning of the year actually saying that Andy Dalton could be serviceable in comparison to Dak Prescott. There were some numbers about the first 24 games of both of their careers that had seemed to match up. But let me give you a couple of these numbers with Andy Dalton. And shout out to Wiley and Emmanuel Acho, who I got these numbers from their show today, man. Points per game for Dallas with Dak Prescott, 32.6. Points per game without Dak Prescott, 21.1. So you're looking at about an 11-point fall off right there at quarterback immediately. Total yards per game with Dak Prescott, you're looking at 488 yards per game, which that number in itself is just ridiculous. And without Dak Prescott, they're averaging 319 yards per game. Then that's total yards, I'm sorry. Passing yards is 381 passing yards per game with Dak Prescott. 204 without Dak Prescott. So you're getting 100, pretty much 180 more yards passing with Dak Prescott in the game. Yards per play with Dak, 6.5. Yards per play without Dak, 4.7. Now, there is a little bit of an asterisk here. You gotta account for what was the Gilbert kid's name?
Gilbert Grape.
We're gonna call him Gilbert Grape. And Ben DiNucci, is probably the worst. He's right there with Dwayne Haskins, but the worst performance out of any quarterback in 2020. So without those two quarterbacks in there, the points per game did go up. Andy Dalton was averaging around 26, 27 points a game. So not too terrible with Andy Dalton there, but still, these numbers are very high with Dak Prescott. And the person I was going to compare Dak Prescott to statistic-wise, if you look at the career numbers, is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is just a little bit higher than him in a few categories there. Touchdown-interception ratios are very similar. Passing yards are very similar. And Deshaun Watson, you saw the bag that he got when he signed that contract. I want to say it was like $39 million. So I think Dak Prescott, they got to take care of this contract. If they franchise tag him again, that's going to be a damn shame. Because I think he's the driving force for this offense. When you got to account for Dak Prescott, what he can do with his legs, what he can do with the ball through the air, I think that makes Zeke Elliott a way more effective running back. There was more stats they broke down to about the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper especially. I think Amari Cooper was averaging like 30 more yards per game with Dak Prescott at quarterback in conjunction with Andy Dalton. So I know the Cowboys might be thinking, Andy Dalton came in here and won a couple games. I want to say he was 4-3 as a starter, but I think you got to pay that man. Dallas Cowboys problems start from there. They would have probably been at the top of this division. I know the Beard been saying that all year, that the Cowboys would have probably been at the top of the division. Had Dak Prescott not got hurt week 5 against the Giants, man, because the passing yards were looking ridiculous. Defensively, the one thing I would say is I don't know if they would have got it together defensively if they didn't have to, because noticing that Dak Prescott out the lineup, the points per game going down, this defense, it changed a whole lot. They were on the field a lot more. They had to figure out a way. That pass defense was like historically bad along with the Seattle Seahawks in the beginning of the year, and they cleaned that up, So I got to commend them. The defensive coordinator in Dallas looked like he was on his way out. We got past what do they call Monday against him?
Bloody Monday.
We got past Bloody Monday. And he didn't get fired. So
now that I think about it, that's crazy.
That's kind of crazy.
I thought there was no way that he was going to keep his job.
Yeah, I thought there was no way he's going to keep his job too. Real quickly on this Joseph Balby.
Yeah, he wanted me to
here.
make sure you saw that.
Yeah. Yo, the 80s uniforms are fire. I love those 80s uniforms. I think we should bring back the helmet. The all-white and the color rush that we wear is very similar already to the 80s uniforms. I want to see him swap out that color rush this year and go with an all-blue, just like everything blue, Blue Nation. Just represent this Giants team properly. Maybe put that white one as our main home uniform, because I do like the white color rush uniforms. Those are fire.
Big shout out to Cody Collins with the $2 super chat. Says, "What up, guys? Better see y'all at Tana's tailgate."
Oh, you know it. Tana was talking about on Twitter today that the first tailgate should be against the Eagles, and I agree. And when New York comes down here to play Washington, y'all already know we know how to throw a party. The Beard hadn't partied in years. How long you been sober for?
In May 22nd will be 10 years sober.
10 years sober. I'm just trying to get to the 27th of January here to get my first year under my belt. But salute to the Beard on that. But he still know how to party, because when we do these tailgates, man, he be doing these joints called the trash bag wings.
Trash bag wings,
know
baby.
About the trash bag wings. So yeah, we're gonna have a few tailgates this year, man. I'm gonna definitely pull up on y'all in New York for the first home game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I might even go pull up the Philadelphia Eagles stadium, because we got beef. We definitely got some beef, bro.
McGinnis said he's flying back for that one.
Got to, McGinnis. You know how we gonna do this, man. It's gonna be it's been a year off, no football. That one year we got 2 games down here in a fiscal year.
It was 3.
It was 3 down here, huh?
3 games in 1 year.
Yeah, that was crazy. All down here in Washington.
Because we had the New Year's Day game.
Yup.
And then we had Thanksgiving. And then so it was 2 seasons. Because it was the last game of that one season. And then we had the one that was on like Thanksgiving and another one all the way at the end.
Yeah, was that Giants Thanksgiving? I can't remember that. No, it was because I missed the Thanksgiving dinner. Actually, I remember it now. I missed the Thanksgiving dinner with the fam because of that game.
Yeah,
so I
we
do think it was on
deep
Thanksgiving.
fried the turkey in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so when that tailgate pop up, it's going to be lit. Nick the Wick, I'm going to definitely see you out there in Philly. We're going to hold it down, man. Bruiser gang in the building one time, straight up. But, back to this game, man. I mean, I like that the Giants extended Patrick Graham. Before we did our pre-production notes for the show, we got that news on air. I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm so happy about that. Even though I knew in my gut Patrick Graham was going to be back. I knew in my gut that Dave Gettleman would be back. But, Beard, I want to know, man, there was a lot of speculation about Dave Gettleman, man, being on a hot seat. And word came out, I want to say it was Monday morning, that they were going to have a press conference either today or tomorrow about it. And we know Gettleman's going to be back for the 2021 season. And I just want to know your thoughts on that, man. How do you feel about that? Is that a good thing for the Giants? Is that a positive? Is that a negative? What do you think about his moves that he made in the draft and all that?
I mean, I totally think it was the right move to do. I mean, general managers aren't head coaches, okay? So, that's one thing that I think that this modern age of football tends to forget. It's not like you hire a GM and then you have a bad season and you let him go. GMs and coaches are in two different, categories as far as, what their track is, the path that they're trying to create. And we've talked about it before a bunch of times. This isn't something that happens overnight.
Yeah,
and I know, I think I saw on Twitter where people were trying to say oh, well, the Browns were able to make the playoffs.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I definitely put a couple notes about that because I had to go look for myself. I'm the kind of person that, I got my gut feeling on things, and I definitely felt that the Browns situation was very different than the Giants situation. The one thing that I remembered was the cap space. Browns went into that year with $150 million in cap space, and the Giants only had $50 million. The other team they were trying to compare us to was the Colts. And if you go back to 2012, what was the year RG3 and Andrew Luck was drafted? Was that?
It was the 2011 or 2012 draft because we won the division RG3's rookie year.
So that was 2012. Yep. So 2012 to 2014, you look at the Colts, they were 11-5 back to back to back. So 3 seasons in a row, they were 11-5. The following 2 seasons, they went 8-8 back-to-back, and then they had the one bad season where they went 4-12 entering the 2018 draft, and they just got right back. I think a lot of people thought, that with the retiring of Andrew Luck, it was going to be a rebuild, but in essence, it really wasn't a rebuild. They drafted a couple guys here. I love that new running back over there with the Colts, man. Jonathan Taylor he's just a dog. He breaks tackles. I think that was a great draft pick. It kind of reminds me of what the Giants were trying to do, but I think Gettleman made a mistake because of the pressure from, the organization. The Mariners definitely wanted to keep Eli Manning around, and they tried to draft a running back and to add to the offensive power, which that didn't work out. And you look at the Browns, man. The Browns, I can't remember how many seasons it was. I want to say it was 11 losing seasons.
They haven't made the playoffs for 20 years.
18 years they hadn't made the playoffs. It was 11 losing seasons. And the cap space that they had over there, I think they used the cap space wisely. They also drafted pretty wisely. I think it was a smart move to pick up Kareem Hunt, being that he was dealing with the whole suspension issue and all that was happening with him in Kansas City. Going out there, getting Odell Beckham on the trade, and going out there and getting Jarvis Landry, drafting Njoku. They also spent the money on the tight end, Hooper, I want to say. Austin Hooper, who he's been playing well. I mean, that team should be better than they really are, if you ask me. And in 2020, they kind of had a bit of a cupcake schedule, so I think they got a couple good early wins early on in the first half of the season and kind of rode the confidence wave to the playoffs. And they're playing good ball right now. Baker Mayfield is playing some fantastic football. But I just think that these organizations were in totally different spaces, man. Offensively, I feel like the Giants have been suffering at the wide receiver position. Even when we had Odell Beckham, there was issues at wide receiver with Sterling Shepard being the number 2. They tried to bring in Brandon Marshall. This has been like a glaring problem for the Giants for a long time. We need that other guy. And then when you trade Odell Beckham, it looks even worse now. The offense has taken a crucial hit. I want to say we're averaging 17 per game in the 2020 season. That's not a good look. And more to talk about. Y'all know how I've been talking about the Odell Beckham trade, how I kind of feel like no team really won that trade. And I forget who it was, but somebody lumped it in and they were like, that was one large trade that happened when we got Zeitler if you look at the way Olivier Vernon is over there playing right now, I think that's more reason of why we lost the trade. Money-wise, maybe we want to trade because we did get a lot of cap space. We dumped off a lot of high contracts. Olivier Vernon was getting paid that bag. I forget what it was when we got him from Miami. But Odell Beckham, the $90 million contract, we took a big cap hit for that. But I still don't think we necessarily won that trade. I mean, we're still fighting to try to find a playmaker right now as we speak. That's not a good look for the Giants, man. And you saw it in this game against the Cowboys, man. We struggled as far as third down goes. I want somebody to tell me. I talked about y'all putting trivia questions in the chat. We're going to need 3 trivia questions tonight because we don't got Scotty Boomz. And this might have been a good trivia question, but what was the last team to win a game without converting a third down? Because the Giants won this game and we're 0 for 7 on third down.
That's so difficult to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is, and I thought Daniel Jones had a pretty decent game.
He had a great game.
He had a great game. He had
a great game.
Statistically, it's got some blemishes on there because the fumble went to him, I want to say, even though I think that was on Wayne Gallman. He didn't open up, his arms. He kind of closed down on the ball a little too early before it got there. And the interception on Evan Ingram. I know Giants fans are like, yo, I'm done with Evan Ingram. And I've been one that's been copping for Evan Ingram all year long, but
I just want to throw one. I saw it. I'm sure everybody's already seen it, but like the statistic floating around of how I think it was 50% of the interceptions thrown by Giants quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
Where the passes were targeted at Evan Ingram.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them. And I will say this. I know at least 2 of them that wasn't Evan Ingram's fault. There's one of them where he comes out of the break and he's on the ground, and I don't know why Daniel Jones just decides to throw it right at him. But the other thing, too, is, the Giants lacking weapons, especially when Sterling Shepard was a little bit banged up. My man Glock in the building one time. What's up, fam? How you living? Let's get this question one time. How often do 3 teams from one division make the postseason? That doesn't happen a lot.
It never happens.
Has it never happened before?
The reason why it has started to happen more so to this season is a little bit easier because they added the extra team. But generally, it's super difficult.
Yeah, I think we've had it happen a couple times in NFL history before. But yeah, I mean, being that the NFC East was so bad, we knew that no wild card was coming from this division this year. And that is a good point with the 7th team in the playoffs this year. That does give one team one less bye and adds another team to the playoffs.
And then big shout out to PJ who said Seattle did it against Minnesota in October, won without converting a third down.
Crazy. Definitely appreciate that stat, PJ. That's what's up, man. That was the most surprising stat of this game to me because I felt like the Giants dominated the game. I felt like the scoreboard could have been a lot higher. Early on in the game, the Giants could have pushed this to a 2-score lead, and it was taking too long, like just wasting drives. You come out, Sterling Shepard gets the 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives, and then it just seems like right when you thought that Giants offense was going to get clicking, the Wayne Gallman fumble happens there that gets credited to Daniel Jones, and it's just like, what's going on here, man? This Giants team has not played a flawless game on offense the whole year. This is only the 4th game of the season where Daniel Jones threw 2 touchdowns or more, and there was no or more. He never threw 3 touchdowns at all this whole season.
Big shout out Max Webster with the $2 super chat. Also bringing up the 0 for 7. Is that the exact same number too?
Yeah, we were 0 for 7 on third down.
That's crazy. Thank you, Max. We appreciate the super chat. Oh, Kalen Dragon wants to know, would Beard ever risk betting something to shave his beard? Absolutely not.
I knew you were going to say absolutely not.
Nah.
That's the identity at this point, man. You get the booty face. That ain't going to be a good
That's bad
look.
for business.
It's bad for business.
How are we going to be authentic in the beard without a beard?
Oh, that's not going to be good.
This beard has life. This beard has been around. Like,
yeah, it's got life. There's probably some stuff growing in there.
It's not just like right here. Like, it's like, ugh.
It's looking a little cleaner today, too, man. You trim that thing up a little bit or something?
Nah. I just went a little extra heavy on the beard butter.
The beard butter. The beard butter. That's what's up, man. NFC East was the first division since 2002 realignment to send 3 teams to the playoffs when the 06-07 NFL playoffs had Philadelphia winning the division and Dallas and NY taking both wildcard spots. That's amazing. So first time, if I'm getting this right, was in 02, right?
Yep.
That's fire. So 18 years ago, man, that's what's up, man. Good to know it was the NFC East, the best division in football. Y'all already know what it is, man. But, I mean, this game, man, this game was crazy. I don't know how we didn't capitalize more. And late in the game, not closing out the Wayne Gallman fumble at the end there. Xavier McKinney gets that interception. I'm jumping around. Let's not forget about the 2 4th-down conversions, bro, that Andy Dalton got. The first one, the 4th and 1.
I want to tell the story. I got to tell the story.
Yo, you get the super chat. Then
Super
tell the
chat. Shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat. Says Awthentik in the mutton chops.
No bull. That's real, bro.
Okay. So let me just explain this to you guys. For those of you that don't know, Awthentik and myself are both, we're athletes. So,
Facts.
We're not just two Joe Schmoes here on YouTube talking football. We're athletes. We've played, football, baseball, basketball our entire lives, right? But that being said, we are a little bit older now, we're not the same, but we're still, we're still athletic.
Facts.
So it's that play, right? And Andy Dalton goes to get the handoff. I'm not sure if it was Zeke.
I think it was Zeke. I'm pretty sure it was Zeke.
Or Pollard. And he gets stuffed. And the cameraman thinks that they get stuffed. Awthentik, 2 feet off the ground. I don't know if y'all seen them combine videos where they stack the little boxes and you gotta do the vertical jump off of 2 feet and jump on the box. I mean, he was honestly, no exaggeration, he was about 3.5 feet off the ground with both feet.
Yeah.
Because he thought that y'all had just stopped him on 4th down.
That was going to end the game.
And then I turned to him, and all of a sudden they pan and they show Andy Dalton run out of bounds. I turned and I looked down the little walkway into the dining area, and I'm like, sorry, Andy Dalton got the 1st down, and
I looked at him like I wanted to murder him, bro.
His face was so crazy. Yo, it was hilarious, but it was a great play call, and we talked about, those sort of things, being able to do those sort of plays. It was just a great play call, and they got the 1st down, but it was intense, to say the least.
It was, and when you got a running back like that, that's a threat on 4th and inches, 4th and 1, even with Zeke not having a good game, that even with a guy like Andy Dalton, you can run that play. You saw it with Ryan Tannehill in the game with the Tennessee Titans against, I believe, was the Houston Texans. They had their touchdown called back, and I want to say it was like a 3rd down or 4th down right on the goal. It was like 4th and 5 or 3rd and 5, and they ran a similar kind of play. They faked it like they was going to Derrick Henry with the run up the gut, and Ryan Tannehill just sneaks out and has himself a touchdown. And I tell you what, there was a replay of the jump too in this game, because Andy Dalton had another conversion. I don't know if that one was on a 4th down or 3rd down, where he dropped back to pass and he ran right down the middle of our defense for 10 yards to pick up the 1st down. I ran to the side and I jumped up the same way, man. That game was a roller coaster, man. And there was somebody on my Twitter that was at me, and they were like, look, and they said this last week. They were like, the chips been falling the Giants' way. They like, Awthentik, if we can win and Washington will lose at night, you got to put up some money and bet on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. And I was like, no doubt. Since week 16, everything has fell our way. Unfortunately, we got the terrible tank job from the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's on us. We got to win games. I don't like how a lot of people was blaming, the Giants for pretty much saying the Eagles are at fault for us losing and or us winning and not getting into the playoffs, when we know that's not the case. This was a integrity thing here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you saw the Joe Judge quote today, the Beard. Let me see. I don't want to butcher his quote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
From time to time.
So he says, Joe Judge says, and he came out after. This was on, I want to say, yesterday morning. He said, to disrespect the effort that everyone put forward to make this season a success for the National Football League, to disrespect the game by going out there and not competing for 60 minutes. Shout out to Kyle Pizzle on that 60 minutes vibe. Mm-hmm. And doing everything you can to help those players win. We will never do that as long as I'm the head coach of the New York Giants. Now, for me as a Giants fan, my boy Patrick texted me right in the morning too. He was just like, I love Joe Judge, because this is the kind of attitude you want to see from your head coach. No nonsense type of guy. And this screams for the players, I like that it screams that. But we'll get to that super chat real quick, and this chat here from Waterfly as well. No Sunday or Marjorie or Monique. They on dates with Spiffy Boomz. Let me find out Spiffy Boomz didn't get a new job and he's on a date right now. No Marjorie in the building tonight.
Man.
Maybe Marjorie will pull up a little later. But, hey, it was a long Sunday night. Maybe Marjorie's just resting up.
Yeah, so big shout out to Philly Notion for the $1.99 super chat. Says, my guy 100 playoffs. Psych. Welcome to the couch.
That's facts. Welcome to the couch, man. Trying to get my golfing clubs out, but this weather is not right for that. So we're going to have to just wait for this playoff run to come to an end. But the beard, man, I want to know, and I got a lot to say about this. So I want to let you kind of iron out the initial wrinkles, and I just want to know what your thoughts are on this Joe Judge response. He got a lot of flack today saying maybe he was the wrong messenger for this message. Maybe the message is right, but wrong messenger. But I just kind of want to know what your thoughts are on this Joe Judge statement here.
I mean, I don't really have anything. It doesn't bother me at all, really. Because I think the biggest difference is, some people could probably say this and not necessarily get away with it, but it not be an issue because of the way that it's delivered. So it's not like he was being condescending or necessarily really he was kind of throwing shade, but he wasn't doing it in a throwing shade sort of manner.
Right.
His tone and his wording was all pretty, just, straight to the point. It wasn't like he was trying to be a jokester or a smarty pants, you know what I'm saying? But he was just speaking his mind. And look, ain't nothing wrong with speaking your mind, and I kind of think that it has something to do with planting the seeds.
Yeah.
I think that this sort of reaction is sort of a seed planting method. And I'm a big fan of that because, I'm a firm believer in, there's no such thing as an off season. Okay. So that game ends. This is where you're at now, right? You got to see where your players' heads are at. You got to see where the chips are going to fall. You got to start putting things into position now.
I'll see all that camp. I'm going to try to be the Giants.
Yeah, I see. They want you to be the new wide receiver. So that's where I am with that. I don't necessarily think it probably wasn't the best thing to do. And
yeah.
You could have definitely not said it, but hey, it happens.
He did preface it by saying, we had 16 games to go out there and handle business. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And he said, this is on us as far as the playoffs go. But I think a lot of fans took it out of perspective here because they're kind of trying to change the narrative a little bit, and think kind of trying to say Joe Judge is saying the Eagles are at fault for why we didn't make the playoffs. And the other thing I kind of wanted to get your opinion on is people comparing this to the Steelers resting their players. I've seen some people saying, I got no problem with what the Eagles did on Sunday night primetime. The Pittsburgh Steelers rested players and the Chiefs rested players, and that kind of led to Miami not getting in the playoffs and all this. But I'm one that's totally in disagreement with that. But I kind of want to know how you feel about that.
I'm not necessarily leaning one way or another.
Oh, man, I'm totally against that because, look, the Steelers are resting players so that they're healthy.
Oh, okay,
for
so
the playoffs.
when you word it that way, yes,
the Eagles
I understand
are
what you're
playing
saying
with
now.
nothing. There was nothing there to play for the Eagles except for the players. And Miles Sanders came out and he said when they put in Sudfeld in the game, every player that was on the bench was totally not for that. He came out and said that today. You saw Kelsey, what he was saying about it. Kelsey even questioned the coach during the game, and they said that Peterson didn't answer him. And a lot of them hung out on the field after the fact. They talked about this. Let me get into my bag a little bit with this. So I think it's ludicrous to compare it to the Steelers and the Chiefs. Let's get that out the way. The Philadelphia Eagles have 4 wins on the season. You should be trying to win games. To me, the difference between the 9th pick and the 6th pick really doesn't matter unless one thing, if you're trying to maybe get a quarterback. And I don't know, maybe the Eagles think Jalen Hurts is not the guy moving forward, and maybe they want to kind of exhaust their options, and maybe that's why we saw Sudfeld get in the game. Now, I came up, when this all unfoiled or unraveled, I was very puzzled by it. I was just like, I don't know why this went down. I was very just curious about why this went down. But I went back and I looked at the game a little bit more. And if you look at the play when they took Jalen Hurts out the game, it was on pretty much the last play of the third quarter, right? And what I think, this is my conspiracy theory on this whole thing. And my gut feeling told me that I thought it might have been something from upper management or somebody up in the office that was saying we need to see Sudfeld play before, this season is over. He's in the final year of his contract. And I think that they told Peterson, look, when it hits fourth quarter, we need to see Sudfeld get in the game. And in return, Peterson seeing the clock running down, and this is me kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt here. I think that there's a possible chance that he could have been the scapegoat. But I think that him seeing the clock running down, he was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it on fourth down because I see Sudfeld in practice every day. He might not be able to put up no points on the board, and I need to get this win. And maybe that's why they went for the two-point conversion with Jalen Hurts on pretty much the final play of the third quarter. And you notice when they start the fourth quarter, I believe it was the last snap of the third quarter, Sudfeld got in the game. That's my guess. That's my guess on it.
So now that I understood what you were saying, yes, because we talked about this before the show aired, that comparing this to the Steelers and the Chiefs makes no sense. And then we also talk about how the Chargers have, they're out there playing to win with the rookie quarterback, putting him on the line all four quarters, running in touchdowns. No big deal. They're jockeying, quote unquote, for draft positions. Then you have teams like the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Both of them literally have nothing to play for. And they go out there and they put on a show.
Yeah.
A shootout.
I mean, there is a thing about the culture here that you're trying to build culture, especially when you got a young team. Let's not forget about the New England Patriots, too. The Patriots did the exact same thing. They could have went out there and just tanked against the Jets and tried to get a higher draft pick. Maybe a quarterback could fall to them somewhere late in that first round or something like that, but they didn't do it. They went out. This is professional football. And I can't even say this name. That name don't sound right coming out my two lips.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just say the big homie. But the big homie, I mean, we not liars because at the end of the day, this is opinions, man. I'm just giving you my opinion on the game straight up. You could give your opinion, but I think when you are playing at a professional level, it's not only a disgrace to the game, it's a disgrace to the players that are playing for you. And I'm not the only one that feels this way. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles locker room, a lot of them are in the exact agreement with what we're saying here. They didn't want Jalen Hurts to come out of the game because they wanted to win. But like I said, I think that this might be trying to place the scapegoat on Doug Peterson because he literally came in at the beginning of the fourth quarter. If this was about trying to see Nate Sudfeld get some snaps, why didn't they start him?
It makes no sense, but I disagree. There's not every fan base wants their team to, go for the draft position once their team is out the playoffs. Like, that's like a different sort of fan. Like, to me, I could never sit down in front of a TV, watch my team play, and root for them to lose.
Just to get a better draft pick.
It just does that. My makeup is not that way. Like, maybe because I played sports myself, maybe because I'm naturally competitive, but there's no way I could root for my team to lose.
And I could understand it if it was I don't even know if I could understand it. I don't even know if I could understand it in this situation, but when you feel like, let's say it was the Dallas Cowboys, right? And Dak Prescott got knocked out for the year. And you're going into your final week and you're like, you know what? One player, when Dak Prescott gets back, could maybe make this offense, click a little bit better and take us over the top. I could understand being like, we want to see what some of these younger players or some of these guys who haven't gotten PT, what they're going to do going into next season. But why do it in the fourth quarter in a game when it's 17-14 when it's 4th and 5 or it's 4th and goal from the 5-yard line? Why not just kick, tie the game up? To me, it looked like a tank job. I've been watching football for a long time, yo. I'm 37 years old. I've seen a lot of football, and I've never seen something like this happen. And they say that Doug Peterson talked to a lot of the people at NBC in the pre-production meeting before the game and said that Nate Sudfeld is going to play in this game. The plan is to get him some snaps in this game. I just don't understand it. You rested all the other players. Why keep Jalen Hurts in there quarterback? And I'll give you a little bit of more reason why you could have just benched Jalen Hurts from the beginning. If it was to see how Jalen Hurts would perform against another NFC East rival team in a game that kind of mattered for that team, Well, he had that chance last week with everything on the line when the Philadelphia Eagles were not eliminated from the playoffs, when he was going up against the Dallas Cowboys and Andy Dalton. And in that fourth quarter, he entered that fourth quarter without a turnover. He had 3 chances to get the lead in that game or to get that game close, and his drives literally went interception, interception, fumble. So maybe they're seeing it and they're just like, yo, this ain't the guy. Let's not forget, in this game, he was, and we haven't even got to that Washington game, but he was 7 of 20. That's not that good, but he was the only factor on offense. He had the 2 touchdowns on the ground. We know Jalen Hurts is the kind of guy that could run the rock. I mean, to me, it just seemed really backwards. And I think, seeing Doug Peterson in the press conference, he looked like a guy that's hiding something,
And so now you wanted to ask, so are you saying that this is the first time a team has tanked a game?
No,
absolutely.
Absolutely. No,
but
not
absolutely,
a game.
But like nobody has ever done anything remotely close to the way that this was handled from beginning to end.
If I just think if you're going to tank the game, tank it with integrity. Don't tank it and be like, I'm going to start Jalen Hurts, and then when you see, oh, man, he's kind of keeping us in this game.
And then don't say you're trying to, what you're doing that to coach to win the game.
Yeah, because now you lying to the base. You're lying to you're not only are you lying to the fan base, you're lying to the players on the field, because when Jalen Hurts hit the sideline, I forget what it was that he said, but he said something like,
this ain't right.
This ain't right. Right, because he knows it wasn't right. And Kelsey was copping for him. Miles Sanders came out today. I don't know if y'all saw what Seth Joyner had to say about this. Man, he went in. He straight went in. He said he was disgraced to be a part of this franchise, because this isn't the kind of thing that really good franchises do. I think you use the Patriots as the model. They went out there and won the game. You got to use them as the model. And another thing I wanted to bring up on this one too. Oh, Philly Notion. We definitely got to get this one off first. What did Philly Notion say one time?
We had a top 6 pick on the line. There was no way we were going to allow Dallas or y'all in the playoffs. Eagles were already eliminated. Doug should have just benched all the starters.
I'm 100% with you on that.
It would have been a completely different outcome and outline and story if that would have been the way that he handled it. It's just the way that it went down. It just didn't make any sense. They botched the tank job. Basically.
They did. And it really would. It's been a story now for 2 days on every major sports network, right? It really wouldn't have been a story if he sat Jalen Hurts and said, yo, we really want to see what Sudfeld has going into next season. He is the backup. We're paying him a pretty good penny here. We want to see if he's going to be the guy. And they have a quarterback controversy. I mean, they haven't. What are they going to do with Carson Wentz? I know a lot of people are saying he's going to be gone. A lot of fans still like Carson Wentz, but seems to be that the relationship between him and Doug Peterson has been, fractured a bit here at bare minimum. But the other thing I wanted to get on too was, talking on Twitter with Mike Too Nice, right? Mike Too Nice put up a tweet. I can't remember exactly what the tweet was, but me, him, Pest, a few others started getting into it. Pest was saying like, Mike Too Nice about to lose his invitation to the barbecue. People started taking it a little personal, but we was just all joking. His family over here as far as the Giants goes for sure. But then Mike Too Nice said something that really, really stuck with me. He said, they'll get over it in a week, talking about the players. Now, for a guy like Jalen Hurts, who literally is getting his first opportunity here on the back half of this season, if with this 6th pick, there's a quarterback out there that the Philadelphia Eagles might get, do you think there's a chance they might scoop a quarterback?
No.
So you think Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy?
Yes.
He was 7 of 20, bro. Look, Emmanuel Acho brought back, his last 20 drives, you go look at him, his quarterback rating was one of the worst in the NFL.
Yeah, but look, this is the thing is that this is that's his 3rd game?
I want to say it's his 4th start, 5th game.
Is it really that many?
Because didn't they bench Carson Wentz halfway through the game before the Saints game?
No. They brought him in, I think he...
I'm right on that. I know I'm right. He didn't just outright get the start. He played first, and then he got the first start against the Saints. He upset the Saints. So whatever week it was, they played the Saints. That's the first start. He played against Dallas. He played against the Giants. So you got Saints, Dallas, Giants right there at least. I don't know if there was another game between that, but there's at least a half a game.
Did they play the Cardinals maybe?
They played, yep, and he got the start, I want to say, against the Cardinals, and they got beat bad in that game. But and he looks good when you watch him with the eyes. That's the thing. But I don't think it's no guarantee that they're looking at it like, yo, this is our franchise guy. I definitely don't think that.
Why? I don't know. For me, it baffles me because, look, this is the thing. You don't just draft a quarterback and then watch him play. I mean,
say that to the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, but Josh Rosen got a whole season, and they got
He did.
And they got the first pick in the draft. It's different. You're not if you were the Eagles and you had drafted Jalen Hurts and you got the first pick in this year's draft, then yeah, you draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you don't have that first pick, then no, you don't draft a quarterback.
But what if you feel like you don't have a guy? Because why else is Sudfeld on the field?
He's on the field because they're idiots. They're stupid.
I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
We can't let them leave with that.
I don't have an answer. It doesn't make any logical sense. There's no way, and nobody's explaining it. Nobody is explaining it to us. So to me, it's a botched tank job is what it is. That's the only reason why Sudfeld was out there. There's no way that you can tell me, that anybody can tell me, that they wanted to see what Nate Sudfeld had. If you wanted to see what he had for a quarter in the last game in the rain against the Washington
Which is
defense,
interesting.
like no,
Which
it
is
doesn't
very
make any sense. And I'm sick and tired of and this is a lot to do with the fans. Fans have become so impatient.
Yeah.
They
the game is changing because of that.
The game is changing because of that. Because listen, it used to be a rule of thumb that a quarterback got drafted and had 3 years. The time was 3 years that you were expected to be able to be up to speed with the speed of the game, the way that the game works, the knowledge of the playbooks and everything like that. It was a 3-year rule. Now, because of the way that the salary caps are structured, because the way that contracts are structured, teams feel like, I got to draft a guy now because I'm going to get him for 4. If I draft a guy and he's the guy, I have him for 4 or 5 years under a rookie deal unless, at some point they want to restructure the contract, right? But we'll leave that variable out of this equation for the time being. So they believe they're like, okay, I can build everything else around this quarterback if he can play right away and win because it's going to be cost effective for me. Right? But, not every quarterback is ready to come into the league and play right away.
Yeah.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got the opportunity to sit 3 years.
But he might have balled out if he's just sat 1 year. I mean, and I don't think we could compare a guy like Jalen Hurts to Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not trying to compare Jalen Hurts to Aaron Rodgers.
He does struggle throwing the ball. Let's keep that 100.
But he's not on every throw.
I don't mean like literally throwing the ball, but when you see him throw outside the hash marks, he's not that great at it. This guy was 6 of 15 and then finished 7 of 20. I
mean, he had a bad game. There's no doubt about it. He's a rookie. People are going to have bad games.
It looked like a decent game. Like the eye test is very different when you look at the numbers because they were still moving the ball. And let's not forget, he's got no weapons out there. If you look at the wide receivers he was throwing to, the dude that he threw it to on the 4th and goal play was a dude who gets no PT ever. Like, I can't even name this dude. But this is the reason why, and I'm not on the side. Don't get it twisted.
I know.
No, I'm talking about the chat. Don't get it twisted like I'm on the side that the Eagles are going to draft a quarterback. I'm trying to make sense of this kind of just like you are, because if it's an evaluation thing, we should be evaluating Jalen Hurts. He's only had like 160 attempts on the season. Why would we bring in Sudfeld to evaluate what is potentially going to be the backup next year if Jalen Hurts is the guy moving forward? Now, I don't think Hurts has proven to me that he could be the guy moving forward just yet, which kind of makes me feel like, are the Eagles going to move on from Carson Wentz? And if they do, are they just going to cut him and just eat that?
They're a mess over there because what do?
You can't build around a young quarterback right now. You're not going to have the money. I saw a list of players that they could actually release. It was like 8 players that they could release to like get rid of I think it was like $60 million, and they still will be under.
They should have fired Doug Peterson. They should have fired their general manager.
Yeah, because it's been bad. They've
but
missed
this is
on the
the
draft.
problem. There's nobody who's gonna want to come into that situation. Like you gotta be a numbers G.
Louis Riddick.
I'm a big Louis Riddick guy. But look, you gotta be a numbers G to come in and fix that situation. You gonna have to, because no matter what, even if you cut people, you're still gonna get hit with dead cap hit, right? There's going to be some sort of luxury taxes. I mean, like, it's...
They're screwed. They're completely screwed.
They're completely screwed.
And then it's like, what do you draft over there? What do you draft over there? A wide receiver again? You can't. I don't think you could draft another wide receiver again.
I don't know what they do. Like, we're gonna have to do a whole show
about this.
On what do you do in Philly? Because there's too much to go over.
I really am gonna stick to this until further notice. I think in the office up top, they're not sold on Jalen Hurts. They were like, don't forget, I was telling you this off camera too. Sudfeld broke the record for a debut by a quarterback in completion percentage. Or it might have been a backup, but he was 21 of 23 for 175 yards. So in his debut, when he did play in the NFL, he balled out, right? And I think maybe up top, they were like, look, we need to see Sudfeld in the fourth quarter no matter what's happening in this game. And I think it actually made Doug Peterson look worse, and maybe that's why he went for it. I'm going to stick with that till I get another...
I understand where your conspiracy theory is going,
all
right?
I can think of, man.
But in your heart of hearts, in your head,
yes,
in your football watching eyes,
this is the Philadelphia Eagles we talking about, but
yes, your football watching eyes,
yes.
Do you really believe that there's a person out there that thinks that Nate Sudfeld is a better quarterback?
No, I didn't say that. That never came out of my mouth. Never came out of my mouth. What I'm saying is they wanted to see what they had in that guy before the season was over because they're not going to see what they have in him next year.
But why do you need to see what you have in him?
To exhaust your options at quarterback. And I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who thinks that Jalen Hurts ain't the guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that what makes you think that Jalen Hurts isn't the guy?
I'm not saying that. I mean, if I was somebody,
from their perspective, is what I'm asking.
Throwing the ball is not his thing right now. As a young quarterback in this league, he can run, but if you were to take away his rushing stats, he looks bad, bro. He's not throwing the ball well. He had that one game where the first win that he got against the Saints, he threw for 110 yards and he rushed for 126 yards.
Big shout out to Lucas for the $7 Australian dollars and 99 Australian cents super chat. Has anyone heard from Philly's owners if it was their idea? What is Doug supposed to do? I hated what the Eagles did, but we all have a boss.
Right. And I'm telling you, give me something else to take me off this thing that I'm saying, right? Because there's no other theory behind this. It can't be that they wanted to evaluate Sudfeld as a backup going into next year. So to me, it says, hey, Jalen Hurts is still on a rookie deal. Don't forget, they're probably paying Jalen Hurts less than they're paying Sudfeld. Jalen Hurts was taken in the first or second round?
Second round.
So they're probably paying him less than they're paying Sudfeld. Let's not forget that, right? But they're like, and I'm just thinking I'm thinking like I'm Dan Snyder or somebody, right? I'm a bonehead, in the top of the top ranks of the team. And I'm like, all right, well, let's just see what he has. No matter what happens, I want to see what this kid has. He's been around here. There is a relationship that has been built. He's been there for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, Waterfly. But he's been there for 4 years, bro. And when he did play, he looked okay. But you could tell when he got into the game, this looked like a quarterback who had no preparation.
He did that no business.
He had no preparation.
Being in the game.
And I won't say that because that's a disrespect to the backup quarterback. He's working. He's in the league. He deserves to be at least considered. I will give him that, right? And I feel like Nate Sudfeld was the butt of a lot of people's jokes today, but he is a quarterback in the NFL. We know that quarterbacks are not easy to come by in the NFL, right? And he played well when he started. And if you look at his build, bro, he's the prototype for a quarterback build. I want to say he's 6'5", right? So I just think that this was something from up top. The way that it happened so abruptly and the way that the players were so surprised by it, even though Doug Peterson, Monday, they did talk about this, about how he had told them in the production meeting that he was the plan was to get Nate Sudfeld some snaps. And then in the press conference, he contradicted himself because he said, we're trying to win. We're going to do what we can do to win the game. But we felt that Nate Sudfeld deserved some snaps because he was here for 4 years. He only had thrown the ball 25 times in 4 years. So until somebody take me off that mountain, that's what I got to go with until I see, them draft somebody at number 6 that proves me otherwise. But right now with the Philadelphia Eagles, there's nobody that they could draft coming in there that's going to help this team win now. They need pieces on defense. They have a few pieces on the defensive line. They were up there in sacks in this year in the league, which, surprised me even with the personnel that they have on defense. And Benny just said that too. He's 6'6", 230, Tim. So that is a build at quarterback. And I'm not saying he's the kind of guy that you couldn't, if they were to scheme this game and maybe gave him some first-team reps, which is the way they should have done it if they wanted to see him in action,
exactly,
maybe he looked a lot better. But he looked exactly like Ben DiNucci when Ben DiNucci came in that game for the Cowboys. Like, this dude, literally like Johnny Moxon with a book and the clipboard, not paying attention, got on there like, yo, you're in. All right, bet.
Reading the book and the clipboard.
Right.
Because wasn't he like doing like finance classes or something during
He was reading
the season?
novels. He was reading novels.
No, but like
Sudfeld.
Sudfeld was taking finance courses or something.
I don't even know, bro.
Look, it's just, listen, none of it makes sense. None of it's going to make sense. We're never going to find out the truth. I don't think.
I think, what I think is going to be very telling, though, is when they draft.
They're going to draft a wide receiver.
Is that the plan? They're going to bring in another wide receiver? What you going to release Alshon Jeffrey, release Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I think if they go and draft a quarterback at number 6, that would the explosion of the internet.
Oh, it'd be crazy. It'd be absolutely crazy. I almost think they might want to trade if they're not going to try to like completely revamp the franchise.
If they trade the pick. Now listen, think about how crazy that would be if they traded the pick. If they lost the game to move up, to secure a 6th pick just to trade the pick. Now it'll really not make sense. Yo, if they trade the pick now, I'm gonna lose my mind. I mean, there's nothing they can do right now that's not gonna make me feel any different kind of way, because at 6, it's like if you take another wide receiver, dog, it's not gonna work out for them. They might have to fire management before they go into this draft. Straight up. I mean, it's.
Yeah, and that's been the problem, and why, Chris, man, they've been backloading these contracts, so now it's like it's catching up to them. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, this is a nightmare situation for a GM, and even if you try to bring in a new GM, why would he want to go here and try to take care of this situation? This is going to be like 4 and 5 years of losing before Philadelphia gets back in the mix.
And think about it like this. So you can't keep... There's no way Philly starts next year with Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz, and Jalen Hurts all in the same room, right?
Do you think Jalen Hurts has any trade value?
Yeah.
What do you think his value would be right now?
Like what you could get in return?
Yeah. 6th?
No. Way higher than that.
Way higher than that for that kid?
Yeah. He was drafted in the 2nd round less than a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, what did they get for Josh Rosen? They didn't get much for him, right?
Yeah, but... Josh Rosen played a whole year and played like really, really bad. Okay,
I would love to go look at these numbers too. Let me pull up them numbers and see what he was drafted for. And
while you do that, I'll bring these super chats up. Shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat. Trade with Miami from 6 to 3 and draft Justin Fields. Oh my God, Justin Fields is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because look, you could restart with a really young quarterback if in fact you feel like Jalen Hurts ain't the guy.
White Negro, $5 super chat. I wouldn't dismiss the possibility of the Eagles taking a quarterback at number 6. It's a fairly deep class. Lance or Jones isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. What are the teams in front of them though? How many teams in front of them need quarterbacks?
I don't have it in front of me, but you got
Bengals got a high pick, which they're not going to take a quarterback.
They got the 3rd pick. Jacksonville, the Jets.
Yup. Quarterbacks, both of them. Who else was slumming here? Are the Chargers down there somewhere?
No. Chargers are picking in the teens, I believe. Give me one second.
The teens? Yeah. The Texans, which that pick goes to Miami. They're in the top 5 as well.
This is insane. Okay.
Yeah, Jets got the number 2 pick. Dolphins got the number 3 pick. Atlanta, who might take a quarterback. So you're looking at Jacksonville. The Jets, it's not even guaranteed that they're going to take a quarterback yet. But I would bank on them taking one. I'm not going to lie.
People are going to be trading picks. I would not be surprised if you see 3. All right, I'm going to say this. I would not be surprised if you see half of the top 10 picks traded.
No, I'm not going to go that far. No way. Atlanta's not giving up that pick, I don't think. Cincinnati needs some help at wide receiver probably. You know, they probably go wide receiver or O-line.
Look at that. A third and a fifth for Josh Rosen.
A third and a fifth. Yeah, okay. So that's a little better. And let me give you his stats from his rookie year. They were god awful. So he was 55% completion percentage, 2,278 yards. He had 11 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. But the upside with him, I think people still thought he could play. Because he was one of the, you know, higher scouted guys coming out of college. Jalen Hurts, 52 completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 1,000 yards in what is it, 1, 2, 3.5 games?
Yeah. 3.5 games, man.
Oh, I lied. It was more than 3.5 games.
4.5 games.
So he played against the Packers, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and Washington. So in 5 games, he was 41% against the Packers. He had a touchdown and an interception. His best game is actually against the Cardinals, but he has no game where he threw for over 57% completion percentage, which that's bad. The kid can't throw.
But listen, you can't. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but you can't just look at a completion percentage on a guy who's played that little amount of games and just say the kid can't throw.
I would say this. It reminds me of when Dwayne Haskins got the first 7 starts, right? How it was a small sample size, but it is enough to judge the guy's skill set. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback, so he does give you that option, you know, and that does boost him. I feel like it boosts his value in his stock because he can run the ball, you know, that's a really good thing for him. But the passing has been an issue. But there are games here where he's thrown for over 300 yards, 2 games over 300 yards. In both of those games, he had a total output of 400-plus yards in both games from scrimmage, you know. So, I mean, to me, Jalen Hurts is a playmaker, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. Is that's one of the things you have to take in consideration, too. It's like, the way that the play, the actual play on the field, you know, like Dwayne Haskins, if you look at the way Dwayne Haskins played quarterback and you look at the way Jalen Hurts plays quarterback, Jalen Hurts looks like he has a future.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? For
sure. But this is the other thing too. And this is what, oh man, I'm glad you brought that up because this is why I think they might be looking at him a little sideways. If Doug Peterson remains the coach there, you remember Doug Peterson was a quarterback. Remember that, right? Mm-hmm. He was a backup quarterback himself, and he was a pocket passer. When they got Carson Wentz, they wanted him to turn into a pocket passer. And Jalen Hurts, you have to build an offense around him like they did in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. Is Doug Peterson willing to do that? Which is why I think that number 6 pick, don't be surprised if they go quarterback. And maybe try to off Jalen Hurts, you know? I think it's a possibility. I'm not banking on it, but it's not many options in Philly right now. You know, but to the tanking, I'm still on the side of, man, that was very disgraceful towards the NFL and towards the fans, towards the amount of money that gets put into this game, you know, towards the players that were sitting on the bench. Miles Sanders said he was a healthy scratch. He wanted to play, couldn't play in this game. You know, people's bonuses on the line. There was one Philadelphia Eagles player who did reach their bonus. I can't remember who it was, but he did get to his bonus. You know, I think there's a lot to think about here that we probably can't get to in just one half episode of Awthentik and the Beard. But
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I can't wait for the draft. I mean, hey, I know that's what everybody was waiting for.
Yeah,
you know,
and we did it before we even did it. Like
that was very important too. Like to get a little bit off. You know,
yeah,
like,
before we get to the game.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting for Philly, man. I feel for Philly fans and the Philly fans who are like, yeah, we got a 6th pick over the 9th.
You're an idiot.
Yo, that's cowardly, man. That's crazy. But real quickly, we talked about the pieces that the Eagles need to bring in, and we don't know what the pieces are that they need to bring in, right?
It's about the pieces they need to bring out.
I know.
You can't start to think about what you're bringing in until you get rid of what you got.
I wonder what are the most players to like be released and traded and cut in one season, because the Eagles need to just clear house, man. Management, coach, players. If you ain't been here, if you've been here for over 3 years, you out of here.
Okay, this is. I don't want to. I know we're dragging this out, but
Taysom
Hill is better than Hurts.
Yes. Similar though.
Better, more of a sample size, but better.
Is it more of a sample size, though?
But better quarterback or better football player? That's the question.
They're both terrible quarterbacks.
There we go.
They're both
Because
terrible
we were
quarterbacks.
both high on Taysom Hill and thought he deserved a chance to be a starting quarterback. He came in and was a starting quarterback over Jameis Winston and proved that I don't know if he can necessarily be a starting quarterback for 16 games of
He
the
was
season.
missing his number one target, though, in most of those games.
He
Michael
was.
Thomas was
That's
out.
why I didn't say that he can't. I said I just don't know
So
yet.
where would you side? Where would you side? You had to pick one today, right now, for your franchise, and they're the same age. Let's put that caveat in there too.
Oh, that is tough. If I had to decide right now, I think I'd take Jalen Hurts.
You think you take Hurts?
I think I'd take Hurts.
I'd flip a coin. I'd take either one.
I think
I think I would take Taysom Hill just because he's more of a bruiser running style and he can do a lot more. You could do trick kind of plays with him, put him at different spots on the field and make it work. But the age factor is probably the number one thing, and that's why I did say let's put that caveat on there. With the age difference, you got to go Jalen Hurts, I think, on that one, man. But we won't linger on this one too long, man.
We'll re-linger on it after we talk about that.
Yeah, we'll see how the
Washington
other
game.
games work out, man. Let's take a quick little commercial break. We'll come back with this other game and get to trivia time. Y'all get them trivia questions ready, man, in the chat. We're going to need a little something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Expecting your lineup to be the only for it to turn into some. Well, we can help you rectify that situation. Come chop it up with your boys, Awthentik and the Beard, the best division in football. The best division in football. Streaming live every Tuesday, every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we will be back again on Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. So without Scotty Boomz to give us the trivia questions, we are going to rely on you, the viewer, the chat, to tell us some trivia questions.
Yeah, we need 3 trivia questions from the chat, man. No Googling here for us. Y'all can do all the Googling y'all want. King Bell says Jalen Hurts has multiple 400-yard games. He could be a franchise quarterback. Yep, that's true. Some of that was on the ground for sure. All right, so let's start with this one from Matt. All right, let's start with this one from Matt.
All right.
I need you to toss me. Actually, let me just get up and get this board. Hang tight, y'all. Hang tight.
Awthentik doesn't trust my athleticism that much. All right. So the first.
This is your board. I can tell by the way it was wiped off here. Wipe me down.
All right. In 2004, 3 Hall of Fame level quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. However, neither of those quarterbacks won the Heisman in their final collegiate season. Who won the Heisman in the 2003-2004 college football season? Oi.
I know. That is a serious
That's a long
oi.
time ago.
I know. 03.
So 3.
Was this quarterback drafted in the NFL?
Yeah, because there's 3 Hall of Fame level quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. So who?
But neither one of those QBs won the Heisman, he's saying. Neither of those 3 Hall of Fame level quarterbacks won the Heisman.
Yes. Oh, so who? Okay, I got it now. Got it.
Oh, this is about to be a serious L right here. 03? Should we get the hint from Joel?
I don't need a hint, I don't think.
You don't need the hint? I need the
Look,
hint.
Sunday came back from her date with Scotty Boomz. It says time starts now.
I can't even think of a quarterback from that era right now. 03. Okay, so this is like before Eli Manning at least. Oh, but he said in 2004. Okay, so that is that draft. That's the Eli draft.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. 04, 05, 06. Yeah.
I might be wrong then.
Let me see. Who won the Heisman that year? Golly, this is a hard question.
If Scotty was here, time would be up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yo, I don't know. I need that hint. I need that hint. If Scotty was there, time be up. That's right. I'm going to go, let's see. Because the Heisman part is throwing me off because he had to be pretty good. Oh, God. This ain't right. I know this. No, I can't even put this down on here. I can't. No, I cannot put this down on here.
Joel says I didn't ask the question.
Oh, I thought he had a hint for
I've
this
already
question.
wrote my chalk is down, Waterfly. I wrote it's not even, there is a hint.
Oh, there's a hint?
Yeah.
What's the hint?
Boomer Sooner. So my answer is definitely wrong.
They erased that joke quick. It's such a strange era for me. All right.
Same time, game time?
Same time, game time. I'm taking the L on this one. Too early on that one, I think, but let's see. All right, somebody in the chat, give us the answer for that one. I'm going to go ahead and give me that because I didn't get that right.
What's the answer, Matt?
We need that answer, Matt. Somebody said Mark Ingram or Desmond Howard. Oh, it could have been not a quarterback the way it's worded.
Oh.
Somebody said longest 30 seconds.
Jason White? Is it Jason White?
I don't know if Jay Jean's right on that one. Oh, Devonta Smith won the Heisman tonight,
Yeah.
I think.
Did
you announce that?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Definitely. That's major. Oh, we got a super chat. Let's take that while we
Jason
at
White. It is Jason White.
it. Jason White. So we
Yeah.
got big L's from Awthentik in the beard.
Big shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat.
Oh, let's use that as a chat, as a trivia too.
Good question, by the way, Matt. Good question.
Yeah, that was solid. So Matt says, who was the Dallas Cowboys leading rusher in 2008? I like that question.
Dun, dun. 2008. I can't.
I'm thinking I might get one.
I got it. I can see him, but I can't.
What's the number you see?
I can't, it's somebody that was only there for like a brief period of time. Oh my gosh.
We're going to use that Hunter question next. That'll be the last one. So we don't keep them hanging on the trivia too long. I don't know that rusher. I really don't know who that rusher was. This might be right. This might be right. I think I'm a little late on this one, but we'll see. You ready?
Yeah. Marion Barber, I think that's it. I think you might be right.
I feel like there was somebody before him, though, but we'll see.
And I think it's too early for this.
Let me know if that Marion Barber's right one time, Max Webster. If not, we're going to be taking those. And last one here.
It was Marion Barber.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Let me get to these other super chats really fast.
Yup.
Hey, Awthentik, how do you feel about the Patrick Graham extension for the $5 Super Chat, White Negroes?
Love it. Fantastic extension. I said this morning on my Twitter, if you missed it, I said Patrick Graham ain't going nowhere. He seems like the kind of guy that needs a head coach above him, maybe with a little bit more experience here, maybe 2 or 3 years he'll get himself a coaching job. But I'm loving that extension for Patrick Graham. Great defensive coordinator for the Giants, man.
And Lucas with the $7 Australian dollar and 99 Australian cent. Trivia without the master, Scotty Boomz, is like watching a backup quarterback. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Couldn't help myself. Sorry, Colt McCoy much.
Nah, that is real. This is like Colt McCoy versus Ben DiNucci.
All right, so this is going to be the last trivia question.
Oh, okay. We got to add another one because there was one I wanted to get to. So we'll use Joel's and we'll use the other one was about Devonta Smith winning the Heisman at wide receiver. Who was the last non-quarterback to win it? Hunter. So we'll get Joel's first shot. Thank you for the super chat too, Joel. Definitely appreciate that. So let's see. What NFL coach has the most season between appearances Super Bowls? Hint, 19 seasons. Which NFL coach has the most seasons between appearances? Oh, I got it. I know I got it. Don't look over here, bro. I think I'm spelling this wrong, but it'll be okay. Same time, game time?
Same time, game time.
You know, it's going to be one or two guys. You ready? I think it could be a Washington coach, too. It's got to be Dick Vermeil, right? Remember he had that time, that layoff? It's got to be.
You might be right.
It's got to be. I was going to say maybe Joe Gibbs, but he didn't get a Super Bowl after that, the second time he came back. Yeah, let's go. Hey, dog, I was thinking about that movie with, what's my man's name from Transformers? From Boston, what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I was thinking about that movie because he was the wide receiver that got signed on the Philadelphia Eagles in that last year to Dick Vermeil. Oh man, hey, let's go. You want to take that last one from Hunter, or you want to call it a day? Give you a little chance to come back.
I know. I can do that. What was the answer?
This one right here, Devonta Smith won the Heisman tonight. Who was the last position, not QB player, to win the award? So. We're looking for the last Heisman that wasn't a quarterback.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Sound real confident. So I'm up, 2-0? Can't even salvage it. I'll give you a tie. Nah, I'm not giving you a tie. It was a tie last week, man. I'm taking this push, man. I don't watch enough college football, man. Not in this day and age. All right, same time, game time. Hey, okay, I see Such would agree with me right there. Bonus point for naming who this person beat out for the Heisman. Woo.
What was it?
Hey, I'm cleaning up. Let's go. How did I get that? I don't even know where Derrick Henry went to school, bro. I'm gonna keep
Alabama.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, Tim, we gotta document this one. Scotty Boomz gonna be proud of your boy tonight.
I feel like the Giants people were like giving you the good questions.
Maybe. Hey, I mean, we did randomly pick the questions though, too, bro.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, let's go. New York Giants in the building, Awthentik with the 3-0 sweep on your boy. Giants Station is in the building. Trivia time. Oh man, and we ain't even give them. I got to give them the graphics so they know.
Oh, we forgot about the trivia time graphic.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. That was lit, man.
I got my butt whooped.
Yeah, facts, facts. All right, man. So should we just go right into this Washington game?
I think we should just go right into the Washington game.
Yeah, that's probably the vibes, man. That's probably the vibes. All right, man. Washington. This one was crazy too, man. Wow. Let's get a little tunes one time. All right, man. So, the Washington football team snuck out of Philadelphia with an unimpressive 20-14 win and earned a playoff berth with a 7-9 record on the season. Alex Smith did not look 100% for most of the game, and Washington struggled to move the ball all day. Smith finished the day 22 of 32 for 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 costly interceptions. Washington was committed to the run but struggled to run the ball early on with Antonio Gibson in his second game back from a turf toe injury. But Gibson ended the day with some decent numbers, 3.9 yards per carry, 19 carries for 75 yards. And Terry McLaurin found his way back into the lineup as well. Didn't look to be 100% healthy either. He finished the day with 7 catches for 40 yards and 1 touchdown on a pretty strike from Alex Smith on a post corner route, my favorite route. But that was about it as far as offense for Washington. We know about the Eagles pulling the most disgraceful tank move in NFL history on primetime network television and the debacle to follow. But let's not let that overshadow this Washington victory, playoff berth, and this Washington defense. Chase Young has put together a pretty good season here, man. I'm looking at him as a defensive rookie of the year, possibly. The stat box in this game does not show it, but he balled out, man. He had 2 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 fumble recovery. After the victory, Chase Young was spotted on the field chanting, "I want Tom. I want Tom Brady." Today, Bruce Arians came out and responded to that, and he said, "You better watch what you wish for." That's a gangster move by Bruce Arians right there. After scoring the Eagles' only 2 touchdowns of the game and failing to convert a 4th and goal conversion from the 4-yard line down by 3 points in the third quarter, Jalen Hurts was benched for Nate Sudfeld, who came in the game and turned the ball over on his first 2 drives at quarterback. One of those was on Kelsey on a low snap. The Beard, man, we talked a lot about that tank talk. I think we could talk a little bit more about that tank talk, but give me your thoughts on this game, bro.
Well, from the Washington standpoint, I mean, obviously, we won. We won a division, but it didn't feel as good because of what Philadelphia did. Alex Smith did not look good. I mean, he looked good in the beginning, but as the game went on, like, you could just tell, like, he just the leg is not right. And Antonio Gibson played fairly well. I think he was his numbers weren't necessarily great, but when he did run the ball, it was good. Cam Sims stepped up. Terry McLaurin made some catches on those slants to the ground, but you didn't see those Terry McLaurin slants run 20 yards.
Facts.
So you can definitely see that his ankle is still, a little bit of an issue. But Chase Young, I mean, what more can you say? Chase Young, and I think also Cameron Curl. Cameron Curl is a 6th, 7th round draft pick. And you would have said in the beginning of the season that we would be back there with Cameron Curl and Jeremy Reeves and playing the way that we are, and nobody would believe you. So it's definitely like a great thing to have depth right now, and young depth, which is what we have, and that's good. And even Fabian Monroe came out there and played a lot. But Montez Sweat, I think we really need to give a lot of props to Montez Sweat, because Montez Sweat is just as much, deserves just as much credit as Chase Young does. And I said this all last year when people were like, "Oh, I can't believe we traded 2 second-rounders to, move up in the draft to draft Montez Sweat." People forget that the real people in Washington's organization wanted to draft Montez Sweat in the position in which they drafted Dwayne Haskins, because they thought that Dwayne Haskins wasn't going to fall to them. They were hoping, because they knew that Daniel Snyder wanted to pick him. So yeah. Montez Sweat is definitely like somebody I want to just give a huge amount of props to, because he definitely was a huge reason as to why we won this division and why we are where we are right now. But all of that being said, it is just wow.
That's tough. Wow.
AJ Ford with the $5 super chat letting us know that Dr. Dre has had a brain aneurysm. Prayers up for one of the GOATs.
Yeah, definitely prayers up for Dr. Dre. Y'all already know what it is, man. Historic catalog. Definitely a major influence on hip-hop. AJ, appreciate you bringing that news to us, man. That's unfortunate. Oh, I see my man PJ Sports in the building one time,
Shout out for the $4.99 super chat. Says, "What's up, fellas? The last time the Eagles screwed us out of a playoff spot, we won a Super Bowl right after. Just saying."
Just saying. Giants Nation in the building one time. Shout out my man Pest, man. He was on with Fisk Vegas last night for a couple hours, man. They was chopping it up about this whole Eagles debacle, too. I got to go back, catch up on like the first hour and a half that I missed from that show, man. But y'all was definitely dropping some gems, man. And somebody dropped Pest channel in the chat so people
Sunday's
can
on it.
Appreciate that, Sunday, so people can subscribe to him.
And so the worst part about this is Washington literally kept trying to give the game back to Philadelphia to win.
Yeah.
Turnovers and the turnover just kept happening. The interception, 2 interceptions, and then the one almost fumble that we got lucky that we recovered.
Yeah, and I think it started with them penalties early on. I mean, y'all looked to be dominating this game. I want to say y'all went up 10-0 real quickly. And it looked to be that y'all was dominating this game. But the penalties were extending the drives for Philly, man. Like, y'all had them stopped on third down twice on their second drive, I believe it was. That's awesome to hear, Kevin, that Dre is stable according to reports. That's awesome. But you know, the penalties definitely kept them in the game on the offensive side of the ball. And Washington struggled, man, all day. I mean, 6 of 15 on third down. That's supposed to not win you a game. Neither is 0 for 7. You know what I'm saying, Giants fans. But Washington had 5 penalties for 56 yards. Seemed to clean it up a little bit in the second half. 4 yards per play. That's not going to get it done unless you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were only averaging 3.3 yards per play. I like what Cam Sims put on tape here in this game. His 5 catches were pretty impressive, 43 yards. The quarterback play is a big question over there, man. I mean, Washington is in such a similar position as the Giants. It's ridiculous. Like, and I even think y'all defense is actually playing better ball. But NFC East, these two teams have showed you that if you can get pressure on the quarterback, your secondary is going to reap from that, and your secondary is going to play well. You know, it just seems that when Washington can't get the right pressure on the quarterback, that's when they have troubles covering people in the secondary. And in this game, I mean, it didn't lead to a bunch of sacks, but you saw Chase Young was all over the field all day. Montez Sweat all over the field. Little bit of problems with the interior defensive linemen early on, and the linebackers. You know, we were talking about this during the game, that Washington with the 2 edge rushers, man, they can really contain very well. But the problem is when you step up as a quarterback in the pocket on them, there's really nobody there to make the stop. And I know they've spent high draft capital on bringing in guys at D tackle for sure. But you saw Jalen Hurts early on in this game having a lot of success when he would step up dead down the middle of the pocket. And you got to commend the bravery from him on that, man. I think that's one skill set that he has that a lot of young quarterbacks, we saw it with Baker Mayfield early on in his career. When it was time to step up in the pocket, he was stepping backwards, running backwards, trying to backpedal. And you see what happens when you do that. And on the 4th down play, I think Jalen Hurts kind of, you know, took a little bit of inspiration from Baker Mayfield, because he tried to back up a little bit on that. And you know, in return, he couldn't get enough power on the ball to get that touchdown that they really needed when the score was 17-14 Washington.
I mean, it's going to be super tough. I don't want to get too much into looking forward, but, you know, like, Ron Rivera has a big decision on his hands. And, you know, the news came out today that he's contemplating a rotation of the quarterbacks, which is super interesting, obviously. But they need more out of the quarterback position. And it sucks because I hate to say it, because Alex Smith is the main reason why we're here.
Yeah. Facts.
You know, but
I give you that.
The point is that listen, you
Jesse
get
in the building. What's up, fam?
If you get the blitz and you know, Alex Smith goes down and now you're 2nd and 15, 2nd and 20, right? They can't get to the first down marker.
Yeah.
He just can't. The mobility isn't there. The strength in the leg isn't there. And you have to have those sort of things to be able to make plays down the field. And we just don't have that.
And you know, the thing about a guy like Alex Smith, you know, when you a game manager like that, and you really don't have the skills to really get it down the field, you can't make no mistakes. That's the thing about being a game manager, which makes it very difficult. A lot of guys like Jalen Hurts and guys who play with reckless styles where they can run, they can afford to make those mistakes because they're playmakers, and they might turn around and give you, you know, a 50-yard run or give you a 40-yard pass, where a guy like Alex Smith, he literally was checking down all day. He made 2 mistakes on the day, and one of them was on a check down. He was trying to get either Antonio Gibson or McKissick out in the backfield on like a little swing play. And he just read it a little bit late. The throw's a little bit late. Now he's setting up McKissick to get smacked as soon as he catches the ball. McKissick doesn't focus in on bringing the ball in, trying to make a cut, and the ball bobbles up, and now you got an interception. The other one was with Logan Thomas on the post corner route, and Logan Thomas falls on the route. The ball looked like it was going to be on the back shoulder, and it didn't look like it was going to be that accurate anyway. But with a little bit of pressure coming down the pike, Alex Smith makes another bad throw. His receiver falls down, and you got 2 interceptions, which I think we've seen this about 2 or 3 times this year with Alex Smith. I forget the other game, but he was throwing some interceptions like this too. It was a game where he didn't have no touchdowns early on. But, I mean, I think it's time to address the quarterback position for sure, because when your defense is putting up these kind of numbers, I mean, 3 sacks on the day, 2 interceptions on the day, a forced fumble, they only allowed 98 passing yards. That from 2 quarterbacks.
I want to say we finished top 5 overall defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I know going into this week, y'all pass defense was ranked number 3. They only allowed 118 rushing yards, which is pretty good. A good defense will allow a whole team to rush around 100 yards. So 118, that's pretty good. It was only 3.3 yards per play that they allowed. So, I mean, your defense, this game shouldn't even have been close, to be honest. It should have been a straight blowout. And the Eagles were 5 for 14 on 3rd down, 1 of 2 on 4th down. So combined, you're looking at 6 of 16 on 3rd and 4th down. This game really shouldn't even have been close. Washington, I think, all the struggles come from the offensive side of the ball. And it's strange because y'all do have weapons. I mean, Antonio Gibson is a major weapon in the backfield. I know the injury kind of slowed y'all down right after the 4-game winning streak. But, you guys have weapons. Terry McLaurin got hurt at the wrong time of the season. But Washington is 1-5 against teams over 500 this year. That's not good. And I think the main thing I want to know here is going into Sunday, who do you want to see a quarterback? Even if they both, let's say Alex Smith is as healthy as he can be. Would you rather see Taylor Heineke come in the game and maybe give your offense a little bit of spark possibly, or try to go with the smart guy at the helm with the game manager and stick with Alex Smith?
So before I go into that, just want to say peace out to Max. We appreciate the super chats and you stopping through and dropping all your input. It was great to have you here as always. Thank you for that.
Definitely.
And then Andrew, the Bostic hit on Dalton, I don't think he deserved a suspension based upon the NFL guidelines. I mean, the fine and the penalty flag was pretty much what it was going to come down to. And it definitely affected your team for sure. Those couple of games where he was gone, Cowboys were awful. But that's pretty much where I am on that. And now as far as moving forward for Washington and their quarterback situation, I mean, hypothetically, yeah, if Alex Smith was 100% healthy,
yeah,
I would start Alex Smith, no question about it. If Alex Smith was the Alex Smith the first 2 games he was back there playing, I'd play Alex Smith.
Don't forget that first game. It was only 36 passing yards in his first game.
Oh, you mean the Rams game? Like when he came in? Yeah, that was.
And the second game, I think that was the one that was 3 interceptions.
Yeah, but when he went back-to-back 300 yards and basically carried the team,
mid-season he was striding a little bit.
I would have Alex Smith, no question about it. But to me, there's just, and I said this when it first happened, and I said this a couple, weeks back when it first came up and they had to put in Haskins. Something is wrong with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
His body is done everything it possibly can. He's a soldier. He's a warrior. He's a true champ. But physically, his body is just not there right now. And in a playoff game, I think I would stick with what I thought they were going to do this week, and that would be put Heineke out there. And maybe, if you have to put Alex Smith in, put Alex Smith in. But I think you have to roll with Heineke. Now, hopefully he's got a couple more weeks now learning how things go and timing with his receivers, etc. But Tampa Bay in a playoff game isn't going to be Philadelphia in a tank game. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they're going to bring the house every single play. It's going to be engage 8 on Alex Smith. It's just what it's going to be.
I think that's more of a reason that even with the healthy, Alex Smith, and when I say healthy, you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt, put an asterisk by it, because at this point, I don't think you can see a 100% Alex Smith with this leg. It's like, I think he came into this game at about 85%, and he couldn't get the ball moving down the field. When he gets inside pressure, it's so hard for him to step outside the pocket and make throws. He can't scramble, So I think that's more of a reason to start Taylor Heineke in this game. Taylor Heineke showed me great pocket awareness, great pocket movement when he was in that fourth quarter of that game when he got that time and relief and whatnot. I think it gives you a better chance to win because just like you said, if it's Alex Smith back there, this Tampa Bay Bucs defense is just going to pin their ears back and try to put pressure on the quarterback.
Shaq Barrett, JPP.
Yeah.
It's going to be super difficult. And the other thing is too is that you have to remember is that in order to beat Tampa Bay, we talked about this briefly. You're going to have to score at least on the lowest end possible, 21 to 24 points.
I was going to say 21 points. Yeah, because if your defense played completely lights out, caused maybe 2 turnovers in this game,
hold them to 17,
maybe
14.
get them 17, 20, maybe 20.
You get 21, 20.
You can win the game possibly. But I don't know, man. The Bucs have been a little bit up and down, especially when you look at Tom Brady right now versus playoff teams that are in the playoffs in this wild card round. He's 1 of 5 versus playoff teams. Now, I know Washington doesn't quite represent what a playoff team looks like, right? But that goes to show you that if y'all play y'all best ball, y'all can probably hang with them at bare minimum. You saw the Giants, and I know this Bucs team is a lot different than the team that the Giants saw week 3, I want to say that was. Against the Bucs. We only lost that game by 2 points, and Daniel Jones was driving. We scored that touchdown. We needed the 2-point conversion to tie it up to try to push it to overtime. We didn't get it. So, I mean, I do think that, like, if you catch them on an off day, Washington can compete. But this could be a story in the making here. From what I saw from Taylor Heineke with my eyes, I liked what I saw, you know. The kid can move. He was making the throws down the field. He didn't look like he had a flimsy arm. You know, he didn't look like he was throwing no darts or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
he got lucky on a couple of passes that should have been intercepted.
He definitely did. A couple should have been intercepted. And a guy coming in off the practice squad like that, if they could get him the first team reps this week, you know, which I think he was getting first team reps last week as well, I think you go with a guy like Heineke, man, and maybe Washington can surprise, you know, the Bucs here on offense and put up maybe a little bit more points than we're anticipating with Alex Smith in the game. Maybe you get around 27 and you can make it a game. Yeah,
and the other thing is, too, is that somebody mentioned about Mike Evans. Mike Evans will be active as of now for that game.
Really? After the hyperextended knee he had? Yeah.
It might just be a decoy, but like I said, I don't want to get too much into the playoff game because I want to worry about that on Thursday's show, but I keep harping on the run game and Scott Turner. And I know it might sound like I'm nitpicking and like I'm, you know, just being one of these people in the NFC East fans who hate their offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
But like even in that game when they brought Sudfeld in and they had the lead and they saw how the defense was playing, for some reason they kept still wanting to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And with the lead, I didn't understand that. And I think Scott Turner has had some really good games, but it's just this inconsistency of play calling that really scares me. And sometimes I just think that he is naive to Alex Smith's limitations.
Yeah.
And I think that puts us in tough situations, you know, because it's all about like the down and to go. You know, so, you know, if you get Alex Smith, if you sack him, if there's any sort of penetration and pressure, we've seen it. He cannot escape. There's no like he might be able to get away or, you know, like.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not escaping.
He's going to get sacked.
It kind of reminds you of Eli Manning late in his career. Eli Manning wasn't doing much in the pocket, man. If they got there, he was doing quick reads. 2.5 seconds, that ball was out of there. And if the pressure got anywhere near him, he was just going down. You know, with Alex Smith, he just tries to stand up and take the hits. The other thing is y'all wide receivers aren't great, so you're not getting great separation. And the coordinator's not running concepts to really get these guys open. Y'all don't run the mesh concept enough. You know, there's
really a lack of creativity at times. And when the creativity comes in, it's a double reverse on the 15-yard line on first down. That's just, you know what I'm saying?
That don't seem like his style for sure to really do a lot of trick plays. The Giants have surprised me this year with how many reverses and stuff we've been running with Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard.
I just feel like the playbook is super limited, and the Washington football team is, to say that we're lucky and fortunate is kind of an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, because if we played any other team, like say we were playing the Cowboys or we were playing the Giants, and it was a winner go home for both teams, I unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we lose that game 7 out of 10 times.
Playing the way y'all just played on Sunday for sure. Y'all
7 out of 10 times we lose that
Dallas
game.
Or the Giants in that one. But going back to one thing you said too about the play calling when y'all had the lead wasn't that big. And I know as a fan, you thinking like we got to be kind of conservative, especially the way the game was going.
And see, that's the thing, is that not necessarily just to score, but looking at who was now in the game at quarterback on the other side of the field, and how the defense was playing. I felt like it was just and looking at the way that Alex Smith was moving, it just was like, it felt as if we were just doing what we could possibly do, everything we could possibly do to lose the game. It was
it did
difficult.
look like that, but hindsight is 20/20. And when Sudfeld first comes in the game, you as a coach, you don't really know what to expect. And I think an offensive coordinator is probably more focused on what's happening on his offense than the opposing team's offense. And it looked like he was just trying to push the lead. It looked like he looked at it like, we're up by 3. If they come down here, the quarterback made plenty of mistakes too. The one interception doesn't happen on an aggressive play. It happens on a swing pass. So it's like that. You got to blame that one on Alex Smith at the end of the day.
But at this point in time in this game and in this season, a highly predictable and easy to jump.
It's a check down. It's a check down. You, as a quarterback, when you go to check down, that happens to Saquon Barkley all the time when Eli Manning was in the game. But one of two things needs to happen when that happens, when you got pressure coming down on you when you're trying to make the catch. You got to either secure the catch or the quarterback got to just throw it in the dirt. And neither of those happened. McKissick makes the mistake when he tries to make a play with the defender right in his face. And Alex Smith, more importantly, needs to make the right read and be like, okay, there's nothing here. Let me just throw this away or throw it at his knees. The other one, after coming back from that interception, now you're looking at it like, we might have dodged a bullet. I think he was being a little bit too aggressive when he went to the post corner to Logan Thomas that got intercepted, but it was on third down. So that's the other thing. I know if you just run it there on third down, you're going to have fans that are on the opposite side of the coin as you and being like, oh, why didn't y'all pass it? Why are y'all being predictable? So it makes it tough. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, exactly. So, but, at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do. And, we had to win that game. And, the Eagles' debauchery happened. And we won the game. I cannot explain to you. I'm sure a lot of you were watching. Like, it was almost like we didn't even have a chance to be happy or enjoy it.
Tough, and it's documented. It's so crazy. It's just like, I think y'all happiest moments were in the end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter. When y'all saw Sudfeld come in, it was just like...
I went back and watched the moment when they pulled Jalen Hurts and the three of us. Oh, it is golden.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was... I was almost speechless. I was just like, wow.
You did one of these kind of just like sunk a little bit in the chair. Like, it was crazy.
Hey, I see people in the chat talking about Super Bowl predictions. So before we get out of here, let's make a quick Super Bowl prediction. And then I'm gonna take it over to the Hub channel. Make sure y'all go to the Hub.
Predictions until my team is not in the playoffs anymore.
We'll predict them. This is just a one-day thing, man. You ain't gotta hold it for the whole, the whole rest of the playoffs. You could change your prediction when y'all lose, but put you on the spot here real quick. Who you got represent the NFC, represent the AFC before we get out of here?
Okay, since both of the teams that I predicted to make the Super Bowl in the beginning of this season, on Awthentik and the Beard are still both in the playoffs, I'm gonna run with it. Why I'm not gonna change my predictions now. So I'm gonna stick with Baltimore and Tampa in the Super Bowl.
Oh, before you said that, that's kind of what I was thinking. You remember when the Ravens got knocked out last year? We were here watching the games, and Frank the Tank, I was saying, watch, you're gonna see that guy, he's gonna be back. And Frank was like, yeah, right, talking about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I do want to see the Ravens get there in the AFC, but I don't think they're going to have enough. I like this right here.
Yeah, I literally was just reading it.
When and if you lose. Yeah, let me correct myself. But I like the Bucs in the NFC. I really do like the Bucs in the NFC. This game will be telling, though, because if y'all can get some pressure on him, on Tom Brady, and he's a little bit shook, it might change my opinion on that. But for right now, I'm going to go Bucs in the NFC. And I'm going to go Bills in the AFC just to prove the point that we should have traded for Stephon Diggs.
Okay, and I will say this, though, too. I'm not mad. There's a lot of really good teams in this playoff, I feel like.
Yeah, AFC-wise especially, my God.
But I think I'm not mad at the Packers either, because I think there's a big difference in this Packers team than in previous years, because I feel like they have more of a killer mentality this year, more so than in years past.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is playing lights out football. I wanted to talk about this too, man. Derrick Henry not getting too much love as far as MVP,
which is ridiculous to me. But I mean,
It's a quarterback kind of thing. Yeah, but he is the most valuable player for his team because if 100%. You take him off that team, granted, if you take Aaron Rodgers off the Packers, that might be crazy too. I remember when we saw that kid, Huntley. You remember when we saw him get some PT? They got rid of him quick.
I think that's why they were so happy to draft Jordan Love.
Yeah, he was bad. So, but maybe with Jordan Love, it would be a little bit different. I don't know. But Packers, we know they know him to choke, man, in the playoffs, man.
They do.
Manning.
That's why I said this year's a little bit different. I feel like they got more of a killer mentality.
Yeah, they're going to need it, man. I think they're going to need a running game, too. If that passing ain't clicking, they're going to have to be able to rely on Jones.
What I think that matchup against Tennessee that they played in the snow in prime time was a huge test for them. And I feel like that proved a lot to me. The way that they ran the ball, the way that they stopped the run. Yeah, I thought that those were huge moments for that Packers team,
especially early on, getting their butts whooped by the Bucks. Man, they scored 10 points and didn't score again after that.
And the Bills, like you said, I've been high on the Bills for about 2 years now, and it's great to see them kind of come around. The Colts are a sneaky team. Colts are a sneaky team.
I don't trust Phillip Rivers, though.
I feel you. But the way they got that run game going now, T.Y. Hilton's picking up a little bit of steam. That defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can honestly.
The defense is good.
I think you can make a case for every team to make the Super Bowl.
Maybe not the Browns.
Well, I was going to give you the teams that you couldn't. Maybe not the Browns. Yeah. We didn't get to touch on that either. That's unfortunate for them. Their coaching staff situation.
Stefanski got COVID, and a few other players as well. They have, from what I saw, they haven't released the players' names yet, but that's crucial.
I know the one dude who's the longest tenured Cleveland player, who Stefanski gave the game ball to at the end of the game, got COVID.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. This
is facts right here, too. Yeah. Mike McCarthy, who I do give props to turning that program around too, because don't forget they were like 7-9. I want to say the year they might have been like 6-10 the year he got there, and then he turned them around the first year 7-9 or 8-8, and then they ended up in about 4 years being in the Super Bowl. But yeah, with Aaron Rodgers, you should have had more to show for that for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. We're gonna dive into the playoff situation hardcore on Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna set up some brackets too. We might be giving away another jersey or another prize for anybody that can get the bracket situation dead on and get the Super Bowl winners picked. We'll see what happens there with that though.
Yeah, Washington football team. I think that was a given. Washington and Washington and Chicago, they're givens.
Yeah, Chicago's tough. Oh man, and I didn't even get to that one the graphic that was going around Twitter today about strength of competition for quarterbacks. Mitchell Trubisky has had the easiest strength of schedule for quarterbacks. Daniel Jones has had the toughest. And I believe they took into consideration pass coverage and opposing team sacks. So Daniel Jones next year, y'all look out for that. He's going to be a baller next year when we get Saquon back in this number one for sure.
So I guess we're going to break it down. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, 9 o'clock, man. Make sure when y'all leave here, we're going to head over to Hub. I'm going to be in the chat one time. I think he's doing a Q&A. I might pop up on the camera one time and just say what's up to a few folks and talk about this debacle that happened on Sunday Night Football with the Eagles and the Washington football team. But, man, definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to the man, Scotty Boomz. Couldn't make it today.
Yeah,
I don't think Scotty's going to be able to make it on Thursday either. He's got orientation happening with his new job. But we'll look forward to seeing him back when these playoffs get kicked off. I think we're going to do a live stream for the Washington football game, too. That's going to be an interesting one. Those are always fun. Definitely appreciate all y'all in the chat. Shout out my man Ben Bayou. Sunday, I see you. Jay Jean, I see you. Nick DeWick, I see you. A lot of y'all Giants fans. Nate Talks Giants, I see you, fam. Make sure y'all go sub up Nate Talks Giants. Suchit, I see you, fam. We definitely going to head over to the Hubs channel, man. Chop it up over there, man. We appreciate y'all. All the super chats tonight, man. All the love y'all showing Awthentik in the Beard. It's been a wild season, man. I'm glad to see in the second season Washington football team in the playoffs. Would have been better to see my Giants, but, man, I'll take what we could get. One of our teams is in the playoffs, and they got a shot, man. Maybe the NFC East can hoist a trophy. Anything left for him, the Beard?
No, I just want to, thank everybody, as always, for coming by, man. We appreciate it. We could not do this without you. Shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, across all the platforms. This is what we do. We talk football, NFC East football, and we got one. We still got one left, ladies and gentlemen.
Got one.
So we'll see you guys Thursday night for a full NFL playoff breakdown. The NFL playoffs, there's no better time of the year.
You know it. Appreciate you, Andrew, man. Hey, y'all have a safe night, man. Y'all jump off this new year popping, man. Get to them goals, get to them resolutions, man. We're going to holler at y'all. See y'all in the Hub stream right now.
And as Scotty Boomz would say if he was here, best division in football.
You know it.